Let's go!
Noob Saibot technically begins in where? We're gonna do the Noob Saibot visual history of Noob Saibot. He's an MK2 because it's the most basic ass version of him. Yeah, the secret MK2 Noob Saibot fight. And I don't know what to say about this one. There's not much to say. You really want me to rate this? We're gonna like rate this? This is not good. This is what's probably the worst. It's the laziest clone character you could possibly do. It's the laziest. It's a shadow. I get it. It's cute. For the idea in itself, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm giving it a 4. Because at least it's like in the time frame when this comes out, an interesting idea, like you're fighting a shadow, a ninja shadow. I'm like, that's a cool idea. But you can't say that it's like high quality, high effort right now. You know, he barely even has moves. Noob Saibot MK3. And this is the first one where he kind of has like somewhat of a visual identity. And by somewhat of a visual identity, I mean, it ain't much, bro. Like this bitch pretty much gets a couple of rim lights and that's it. This is the legacy of Noob Saibot. This is all we get so far. It's not much better. It's still like a 4 out of 10. These early versions of Noob Saibot aren't going to impress anybody. But you know, gameplay-wise in this stuff, he is pretty cool. But if we're talking strictly from visual history, this is the era where Noob Saibot is quite literally just a shadow. And that's it. It's a cool silhouette. It goes to show you how powerful the MK Ninja silhouettes are, because they are really good. But effectively as a brand new character, there ain't much to talk about here. MK4. I think this is the first time Noob is actually a character. He's not just a shadow. The problem with this version is that he's kind of just Scorpion, like MK4 Scorpion. At this point, he's got the pointy Batman hat and he's got a very similar mask to Scorpion. So still, Noob Saibot has not, wait a minute. Does he have an alternate costume in this one? Oh no. What is this? What the brother? Is this what we're judging here? Are you being serious? This shit is ass. He looks like a skunk. This shit is ass. It's a hoodie. He looks like a skunk. I don't like these, man. These are down to like 2 out of 10. Personally speaking, I'm not down with this shit. No likey. We got to move forward a bit. I think the next one is here. He only has one look in the 3D games, from what I remember. This is Deception. And this is pretty good. To be real, I think this design, the Deception / Armageddon stuff, the Noob Smoke stuff, I think this shit is pretty sick. I hate the way Smoke looks here. I really don't like this shit. This looks weird. But I honestly think this design for Noob Saibot, like going forward, which does get replicated in some other games, is kind of dope looking. I'm gonna give this one like an 8 out of 10. I dig it. There's Noob Smoke 2.0 from, I believe this is Armageddon. Yeah, and then there's this costume. It's effectively the shoulder one, right? Or his bare shoulders, where he really looks like Smoke, right? Looking very smokish at this point. That's his default. Gotcha. It's so hard for me to look at this and not think of Smoke, though. It's not nearly as cool. It's like a 6. I think his shoulders look funny. 6 out of 10. Moving on. This ain't bad, right? I think it's just the color palette. I think giving him like purple skin and shit does a lot for me. Once you get to this point, yeah, you're close to like 7s or 8s, you know? It's really not terrible, but this shit, this weird like BDSM looking costume, I don't know, brother. Don't know if I like it at all. Oh, shit. Oh, it's peak. It's Omega peak. It's so peak, dude. In fact, I don't know if it gets any better technically. This is MK9. There's no argument here. It's just so good looking. It's perfect. I'm sticking by it, dude. I think this is actually 10 out of 10 material. One of the sickest looking MK Ninjas, while still being relatively simple and not super overcomplicated, sort of the way Scorpion kind of was around this time frame. And then he has an ult, but it's not really that much different. It's just his MK2 ult. Still cool looking, but it's like a 7. This is a powerful character design is all I'm gonna say. This is a great character design. I don't really think Noob had a particularly cool look to him until MK9. And then you look at this character, you're like, fuck, I wanna play that. Whatever this guy does, I wanna play this dude. That shit looks amazing. And I don't like this one as much. I think losing the hoodie It's kind of a bad call. This sort of reminds me of the Armageddon era. It's okay. This is just way more powerful. The shoulders, like all that kind of stuff, way better, dude. Powerful ass design. I can't believe how cool this is, dude. No wonder I wanted to play Noob Saibot first, even though he's kind of like weird to use. He looks amazing. The mask looks amazing. Do we really have to take that big of a jump? I think the next jump we take is legit MK11. To be honest, I'm gonna be real. This Noob Saibot design is kind of incredible. And he has a billion different outfits in this, right? That's kind of the problem, is like judging his core outfit. But I do like all the accoutrements and shit. I like the way the shadow looks in the back, Saibot. He does look genuinely really cool. I think he's a 9 out of 10. It does not beat this. It still doesn't. It's a 9. Very good, but it gets a little overcomplicated and a little goofy. I don't know why he would go out and put this on his head. It's funny that they give him the sickle. This becomes like a big part of his game plan now. He has better gear. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but we can't judge him based on all the gear looks because there's a billion different gear looks, you know? We have to go based on like the core visual identity of him. The sickle's an interesting idea. I don't think it enhances him too much. It more feels like they were getting him into the Grim Reaper. They're trying to go into that direction, Nazgul Grim Reaper sort of direction, moving him away from being an MK Ninja. The thing I love about this design, he feels like an MK Ninja still, which is why I think I still defend this one. This feels like he's getting a little bit different. MK1 Noob Saibot. And there's some parts of this I like, but I think not in motion, it isn't very powerful. I'm gonna still be a hater. It's all right. It's all right. I really don't like his big fucking hat. I don't know why he couldn't have just had his hoodie. Why did we need him to have like a pirate hat, you know? The hand is definitely a gameplay thing. We just talked about that. We just looked at it, but it's quite goofy. Saibot looks neat. I don't dislike him. I think I'm gonna eventually hover around an 8. I think this is about an 8. He looks cool in motion, which is nice. Does not reach this level. And also doesn't reach anywhere close to this. And that's kind of the problem, is that like no Noob Saibot design holds a candle to this shit. It's just the best one, dude. It's one of the more simple ones too. I think I need to see more of it in motion is what I'm gonna say. Maybe a 7. The thing is, that's only 1 point away from this, and this is actually really cool. Don't get me wrong. I really like this design. I think this design is very neat. Edgy as shit looking. For some parts, it's weird that 2 times in a row they screwed up his head. And it should be the easiest part. Give him like a normal hood, not a weird draped cloak, and not some big funky Chinese hat that, you know, Sub-Zero has in MK11. He's got a cute little hat. It's like, oh, the hat is, I think the hat is what I dislike the most, is all I'm gonna say. It's the freaking hat, dude. That's my thoughts on Noob Saibot overall. This is a character that has had pretty much the majority of their lifespan treated like a joke in many ways, where the early designs are effectively just like nothing. And then, you know, over time, actually given character. For the first time, I think 3D MKs really did their best to try to like give him character in some way. And then obviously MK9 was like, okay, we're gonna turn this into something, right? We're actually gonna turn him into a real character now. So for me, you know, this shit is just too peak. It's the best, it's one of the sickest looking MK Ninjas of all time. You're not gonna beat this. It's a 10 out of 10.